Yeah, hello everybody. Excuse me. So that should, never mind. I hope people come in. We will see. All right, here we go. Oh, 4 people watching already. So how is everybody doing? Hit the thumbs up. Let's talk and see what's going on with everybody. I just put that on because I always check my sound before I go live just to make sure that it's working properly. Let me know how I sound too, please. So, what is everybody up to tonight? And how was everybody's Halloween? Did you guys get in many trick or treaters or anything like that? Or what's going on with everybody? I'm going to let everybody know that I am live if I can. Hold on here. Mr. J, how are you doing, sir? I know I don't have to send you one now. I'm just going to let everybody know what's going on. Doing better than you deserve? Why would you say that? You deserve the best you can get, buddy. I can't complain other than minor aches and pains because of the weather change, with the winter coming. And yeah, I go through it every year, so I'm not going to complain at all. I try not to complain anyway, because complaining will get you nowhere. Just learning to deal with it and being like, okay, we're good, works best. There are 3 other people, well, 2 other people in here, and I hope to see them. I hope they pop in, at least say something. Let me see, where was I at? Oh, I know who I meant to ask to come in here. Here we go. There. We'll see if anybody else pops in. He usually does, but you know how it goes, Mr. J. It takes a little bit, maybe about 10 minutes. This is pretty fast. So I had 4 people on already right away, and that's pretty good. It means it's they're pushing a little bit more, maybe. So we'll see. We will see. Sorry, I have to answer a few people back real quick. 2 thumbs up. Thank you, whoever gave me the thumbs up. And I hope other people will at least say something. Anything new, Mr. J? Anything new going in your neck of the woods? Anything going on down there? Where you are at? And do you have any plans for Thanksgiving? You just gonna go hang out with friends, be home alone? What are you gonna do? I don't know. I think my daughter and son-in-law are coming over, and maybe my other son and his girlfriend, but that's about it. What kind of cigars, may I ask? Well, I hope it was a good drive there, Slash. I hope it was a good drive. I got a little bit of a stomach ache today, and it's been a little upset stomach today. What kind of gurkers, may I ask? I have a few gurkers here. I still have one of them. You told me to pick up and try a Gurkha Ghost. I have one, and I have one left, and it's in the just mellowing in the old humidor over there. I picked up some cigars today too. Let me show you what I got. I picked up a Cohiba. What's this other one? I can't see the name of it. Anyway, I don't know if you can see the name of that one there. And I picked up this one here. And I picked up this one here. That's a Don Pepin. And I got that one there. This is a Dogma by Drew Estate. Oh, it was $50. It cost you $50 for a sampler pack, yeah. Thank you, Mr. J. Thank you. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry, I'm answering this back real quick. Much better. You're the snake. A red, a blue, and a black. I never tried, all the cigar companies that come out with Year of the Snake or Year of the Rabbit stuff, whatever the Chinese zodiac is. I've never tried any of those. I've always just stayed clear, I guess. I don't know. I might try to get whatever one's coming up next. I forget which one's coming up next year, what it's supposed to be. Gurkha gets a bad rap for some reason. I don't know why. I never checked into it. And some of their stuff is good, but some of the, just like with any brand, there's some stuff I like and some stuff I don't. So who's all in here tonight? I see Slash and Mr. J. There's a couple other people that are not saying anything. Always hanging out. Could be Youper. Youper likes to hang out in the background, and when we're trying to think of something or can't figure something out, comes in with the answer real quick and then glides back off into the distance. He's great for that. Are you waving, Slash? Hello, Slash. See, now that's good to know. Gaming. It is Youper. See, I told you. Hello, Youper. Yeah. Uber's pretty good. I like him. He comes in, like I said yesterday, I was trying to think of the name of the honey, and he comes in, mad honey, boom, out again. That was cool. He knows the answers when we're looking for stuff. Well, when I'm thinking of something, I can't find it. But I don't know. Anybody got anything that they want to discuss or anything? We'll discuss it. I'm open. I was on the spider shop today looking at tarantulas and stuff. I think right now it's too cold to order anything. I don't know if they can get it to me. I wonder if they got a gift cards that you can buy and then use in the spring or something. I don't know. Although I could talk to them about shipping stuff. I don't know how that would work. I would have to find out. And Slash, we were supposed to discuss Florida bark scorpions. Yeah, crazy. Frank the Tank, how are you doing, sir? Oh, Arizona scorpions. No, I was talking Florida bark. Is the ones I'm really interested in. They're parthenogenic, of course, and they're communal. Although I was watching some stuff today that said when a scorpion has the babies on their back, you need to separate it till the babies come off. Once the babies come off, you take her and put her back in the communal. Once those scorpions get a little bigger, then you can put them back into the communal, and they'll do fine. So we'll have to keep an eye on it that way and see what's going on. Mom will eat them at a certain point. Yeah, that's why they said I think once they come off her back, you have to put her back, and then when some other scorpions get a little bigger, you can put them back in the communal. Yeah, they say that people have done a lot of them and they end up some come up missing. Usually a lot. So what the Florida barks? Uber? Is that what it was? Florida bark scorpions? And Frank, what did you think of some of them hissing cockroaches, like the ones with the bumps all over it? He's got that guy has a lot of stuff. Emperor scorpions, yeah. Emperor scorpions, are they communal? I don't know if they're communal or not. They might be. I don't know much about them. Love I did too. I thought they were cool. I didn't go to his site though to see how much he wanted for them, because they would be cool to have. All the stuff he's got is pure line and somewhat rare in a hobby to have pure, you know. And then he did that Halloween video of the Halloween ones. I was shocked when I thought he was a young kid, and here he's got a beard, mustache, all that. I was like, wow. Hey, Moon, how are you doing? Moon from over Miami is here. Or you're at work today. Don't work too hard. Do not work too hard. I have to go see the spider shop, their shipping conditions for weather, temperatures, and stuff. Because I can't make it to a to a um, hub. Too far for me to travel to a hub. I'd have to do it here, delivered to the house. That's why I was wondering about waiting until spring. Dubia roaches I'll have shipped to the house easy. That's fine. I totally understand that. I hope you're making something good. And you're going to share it with everybody? It's only fair. Just kidding. Just kidding. All yours to eat. Yeah. No sharing, huh? So how is the weather where everybody's at? I know here it was cold today. It's going to be warmer this week though. And Uper, if you're still in here, you going? Oh, you told me already. Never mind. Never mind. You already said last couple episodes ago when we did our live stream. Cold and windy. Let's hope the winter is a short winter, and we get right to spring. I'm not a big fan of the winter. Never have been. Yeah. We didn't get many here at all yesterday, so I watched the House of Dynamite. And I did some research today and found a few things out, but I don't know who's seen it and who hasn't, so I don't want to talk about it. Have you seen it, Frank? Did you watch the whole thing? House of Dynamite, that movie that's on Netflix about nuclear war. Well, I would discuss it, but I don't know who's seen it, and I want to see who's seen it to see if anybody else would like to discuss it because I did some research today, and I found a few things out about that, how things would really go down in that exact scenario. And Welcome to Derry is going to be very interesting over the next 3 or 4 seasons, I think. I have noticed today, I watched a video about it, and it talks about how he turns into what scares the people the most. I love the breakdown. That's, each one of the letters is a different season in different years, and that's how they're going to go back in time all the way back. It's very good. I like it. I liked it a lot. Because I saw another video about it, and each one of the letters is a different disaster that happened every 27 years, and this season starts here, and then it's going to go back further and further and further every season until they're done. But pretty interesting stuff. It will be a good one. Tanisha, how are you doing? Long time no see. Oh, I know crazy stuff happens, and it's crazy. The first episode to me was like, what? It was like a total shocker. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Did the first, would you, now the first episode, what'd you think? Is everyone asleep? Oh, you mean in the chat? Yeah, everybody's kind of being quiet tonight. They're usually not. It's usually, but it'll pick up maybe. It usually does. Everybody's pretty quiet tonight, like usual. Yeah, I'm gonna finish up watching all the episodes tonight. I think, what's there, one more episode or is there two? I don't remember. I only watched the first episode. Very good, Tanisha. Very, very good. I'm sure you will do amazing at it. 2 episodes. Yeah, I knew one came out again. Another one came out, but I didn't know if there was another one after that or not. How about Fallout? Do you watch Fallout, Frank? They're coming out with a new season of that now. And I know my son is very excited. And I watched the first season with him. Now we're going to watch the second season. So it's pretty exciting. pretty exciting. I can't wait. I think it comes out in December. Same with um, Stranger Things. Oh, very good. I've never played the game, and my son's a big into the game. I never even seen the game, and then he was like, "We should watch this," and I did. And you can watch it. It's something you don't have to follow the game to watch and get into. Why did he trade you for those students? If you don't mind me asking, Tanisha. Let me see. Somebody texted me. He was my son telling me where he put something of mine, so I know where it's at now. Mm-hmm. Oh, very good. How did you do with it? I saw a very interesting article about that field, Tanisha. I would like everybody in here to say hello to Sarah Tyndall. Hello, Sarah. How are you? I hope you're doing good today. Oh, okay. Very good, Tanisha. But the article I read that said that AI in the next 5 years is going to take over 90% of that field completely. And there'll be no need for people to really even do it other than just to monitor it or something like that. It was kind of scary of all the stuff that AI is going to slowly take over. So yeah, it, it's that's why I turned it off. I was like, it's crazy. Sorry, I hope it ain't bothering you, Frank. I'm trying not to. Should I say that? Hold on. Tanisha, apparently Sarah Tyndall's very excited about you being in here today. So that's a good one. That's why I turned it off so it didn't make all that noise when it was being typed. Oh, yeah. It's always good to get out and get on the move. I understand that myself, Tanisha. So it's very good. Very good. I'm sure you're going to do excellent in the field itself. Yeah, we all miss Sarah being in the doing their videos and stuff. Oops, sorry, I don't mean to make that noise with my pen. I they did amazing videos and they're deeply missed. But we know you're watching, Sarah. Hmm. We know you're watching. He told me he's going to try to make it, but he's doing something. He didn't say exactly what he was doing. I think it has something to do with all his things he's got going on right now, and he'll pop in if he can. I don't know if you can see it real well, but she's all excited that everybody's in here. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, Gary, he was doing I think he was working on his Rep Terrence, and I believe he had certain things he had to get done today for certain things, and he's working on it. Or it's the Rep Terrence, and he's going to a reptile show for education tomorrow, and he had to have everything prepped for that. One of the two things. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure it was the show for tomorrow, the reptile show tomorrow, maybe. Which, if anybody's in the area, you guys should go because Rep Terrence is amazing. And the only reason I knew there's a show in the area, I think Supreme Gecko is put up pictures of everything they have packed to take to the show, if I'm not mistaken. Uber, if you're still in here, do you ever go to any shows anymore or anything like that? Do you ever go check things out? Nope. Are you just done with the whole field altogether, or you still interested a little bit? I know you said you got an Amazon tree boa and a green tree boa, I believe it is. Tell Stevie congratulations on the new job, and we're glad he's doing good. I haven't seen much from him. That's why I don't. I haven't. Haven't seen much going on. And it was like I was wondering. So thank you for informing us. May I ask what he's doing for a new job? Unless you don't think he wants us to know, but I would like to know what he's doing for a new job. Oh yeah. Yes, very good, very good. I've always been extremely interested in reptiles from the time I was a little kid. I mean, almost obsessed, and I still am. Still am. And I probably always will be. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Very good. Very, very good. Rocky and Emily are doing all kinds of stuff on Facebook, like 3D printing and stuff like that. It's pretty cool stuff. I agree, Frank. But what gets me with 3D printing is, let's say I'm going to print a model, like a little miniature model. You ever seen them little orc armies or the and stuff like that they have for um, that board game? You have to pay a lot of money just for the pattern to print one. Yeah, you have to start over. But I like the miniatures. I do. I used to have a giant orc army, and I would like to get a dwarf army going, maybe. And I see all the stuff people print for toys and stuff. It's pretty cool. How you doing? How are you doing? Is that Boza? Is that how you say that? Yeah, it never bothered me to clean reptile cages ever. Yeah, you probably would. Probably not worth it to Tanisha at all. Probably not worth it at all. Boza, how many snakes do you have? And what species of snakes? And morphs, if you don't mind me asking also. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. They're very good. You breeding any of them? Or are they all small or what? Oh, I won't sneeze on the camera. Camera's way up there. I ain't worried about it. Any special morphs? Are they all just regular? Yeah, you know. Yeah, you see, Frank, it's past, and what's going to happen is it's going to hit me all of a sudden, boom, and I ain't going to be able to stop it. Yeah. How was your season this year? Have you found any, have you produced many this year? I mean, this past season? Yep. Very good. I like pied stuff is my favorites. And clown is very, I love what clown does with stuff. If I read the word yawn. You'll yawn. I'm not going to yawn. I don't think. If I yawn, Frank, I'm fighting one now. It's funny he did that because now I'm fighting one. Do you have any blood python morphs, or are they just plain blood pythons? What are they? And how many do you plan to produce this next season? I just had to fight a yawn. It's because you got everybody thinking about yawning now, so it's in their head. And then what happens is that when it's in your head, you're thinking about it, and then you want to do it. I don't know. It's kind of strange how that works, ain't it? I am fighting one bad. Holy cow, I can't believe that happened. Not funny, Frank. Not funny. I'm laughing though, because it is kind of funny. T positive albinos. Golden eyes, yeah, all that's pretty good stuff. Nah, you never want to rush them. Never ever want to rush them. Better off taking your time. But there's 10 people in here and only like 3 people talking. Just get the chat going, people. That way we can discuss some interesting stuff. Anything you want to discuss, we'll discuss it. Waiting in the shadows. Yeah, that's true too. They could be. But I know one person who's watching on their TV and they can't comment because they're on their TV. Understandable. And maybe the other people are too, I guess. I don't know. Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Not you within reason. You can, if you want to discuss something, you could say it in the comments and we'll discuss it. Quantum physics is always a pretty cool subject. Or string theory. I don't know if anybody's into any of that stuff. Here, I yawned. I had to get it out. Well, I am right side up at a slight angle because of where I'm located on the planet Earth, but I suppose the people that are in South America and Australia and everything are kind of upside down at a slight angle also. Unless, of course, you're in the North Pole or the South Pole, then you're straight up and down or down straight up, you know. I try to answer that. It's funny. Now you got me yawning, and I can't stop, Frank. Thank you. I don't know that either. Could. Only because fish take up space and they kind of float. So it could be. I mean, anything is possible. I don't know if you remember the Star Trek: The Next Generation had a crystalline entity, and then they had another creature that looked like a what was it? Almost looked like a stingray that got on the side of the ship and was eating all the energy out of the ship because that's what it lived on. It's hard to say. So the other day after shot. Yeah, sometimes it's tough to come up, Tanisha. Sometimes it's tough to come up with ideas to create things. Now, I wanted to get a laser cutter that cut acrylic so I can make my own enclosures for um, invertebrates and stuff like that. Do you ever watch the Tarantula Collective's podcast, Frank? Because I watched an episode today. It was from a year or so ago, but it was extremely, extremely interesting, and I think you would like it. But I just want to make sure if you watch it or not. I don't know if you do before I share it with you. You have what? I must have lost something here. It's been a bit, but probably not. If I share it with you, do you think would you? I'll share it with you, and then you decide if you want to watch it or not. Is that okay? I'll share it with you after we're off here. Oh yeah, yeah. His podcast. He does a podcast and he interviews. This interview was with a woman who is an arachnologist, and it was pretty interesting the stuff she was talking about. And she was talking about vinegaroons and tailless whip scorpions and how they're not either a um, scorpion or a arachnid. They're in their own genre. Rudy. Yeah, and she wants everybody to stop calling them tailless whip scorpions and stuff. She wants them to call them by this other name. I can't remember what it is, but I'll have to write it down because if I get one, which I may get one someday, I want to use the name she uses because that's what they really are. They're pretty cool. And then there's so many of the tailless whip scorpions that all different kinds. And when you buy them in the hobby, you're not exactly sure what you're getting. It could be either um, it could be any one of the species. Bugs in cyberspace. Yeah, he's I like his site too. He's got a lot of stuff. I would love to just have a bunch of stuff like that and just do it and sell stuff like that or give it away or something. It would just be it would be so much fun to work with all them different invertebrates. I used to have 50 different species of isopods, but I got to I got rid of them all because of stuff that was going on. Um, oh yeah, I'll have to go look at that, Frank, because of things that were going on. So now I got everything taken care of. I'm very much so mellow and at peace now. Not mad at nobody, not mad at nothing that's ever happened. I don't even hold grudges anymore, and life is too short to do that. Much better off just being copacetic with everything. So that's the way I am, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get right back into it, and we'll see how it goes. You know, I hope that makes sense with everybody. Anyway, I try. I try. I was on his website the other day, just checking things out. I wasn't on there much. I was just looking at a few things, and um, I'll have to check it out again. Got an itch here on my upper lip. Made some kind of sense for your brain. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I noticed some of the jumping spiders on there. I see jumping spiders around here all the time, and I was looking at them, and I'm thinking, you know, I, I see them all the time. Maybe I should start catching them, start trying to raise them or something, breeding them or something like that. I don't know. They're pretty interesting. They'll take down like a mealworm or a roach or something. Like if you get them in a container and put a roach in there with them, it's amazing the size of prey that they jump on and take down. I think it would be cool to do it. Maybe I'll start doing it. Maybe I'll start catching them. I see them all over. I see wolf spiders all over too. Cellar spiders, I see them a lot, and I don't think too many people like the cellar spiders though. Yeah, I I I was watching a thing today, and the guy was explaining that they may be one of the most intelligent of the spiders because of um how they do things. I mean, they'll communicate with each other, and they're very curious, very very curious, like you said there. Very interesting. Very cool. Did you breed her with another one, or did you get her when she was um, already grab it or anything like that, or carrying eggs or whatever? It's like the uh, Black Widows. They got some very nice, very interesting, and very cool Black Widows. I bet you there is. That is cool. That is cool. Yeah. Next time I see one, I'm gonna try to catch it and see what happens. I mean, I find them very interesting. Do you really? Those are cool. We get these little out here in my yard, not this time of year, but during the summer. If I laid a piece of wood on the ground and let on the dirt, um, it would when you flipped it over, you would eventually have these what they call dirt centipedes. They're pretty cool. They're really long and skinny, but they're an actual centipede. They're pretty cool. Mealworms. I love watching them take mealworms down Miami because they will pounce on a mealworm. Do you see those as well? They're pretty cool. I didn't know where they were all at, but I suppose they're everywhere. But I think they're pretty cool. I should have caught one. Next time, I'm going to start looking for that stuff. If I come across it, I had this wooden flower pot outside for a long time, and it deteriorated. And when I cleaned it up and moved it, underneath it was like 4 or 5 of them. I should have grabbed them all. I will check that out, Moon. I'm going to check that out. Yes, they do. I love the desert Southwest. I do. I lived there for a while and I liked it. I love it. Go out in the shed and move stuff, and there's black widows hanging out in there. And my sister opened up her garage one day, and there was a Gila monster in her garage. All kinds of cool stuff. Can you guys hear that fan when it goes off and on the on the humidors over here? I agree. When I lived, I've lived in places where it's like You can't even go nowhere to find anything. It's very hard. Very hard. Here, limitless to where I can go, but there's not a lot of stuff to find. Colder climate keeps stuff down at a bay a little bit. I mean, I see wolf spiders and a lot of jumping spiders. Box elder bugs. Have you guys ever seen box elder bugs? I think it'd be interesting to learn about the box elder bug and its whole reproductive system. I don't know if anybody would even want them as pets or not, and I don't know if there's anything that would ever eat them. That's pretty cool. What kind of tarantula was it? Because there's several kind. California has a couple different kinds, I think. Do they? I never crushed one. I remember when I was a kid, I caught one and put it in. This is so funny. My grandmother, I put it. This is a memory I have with my grandmother. I put it in a glass jar, and she got me a piece of tin foil to wrap over. It was just a regular glass. It wasn't even a jar. It was just a regular glass. She put a piece of tin foil and punched some holes in it, and I was so excited because I was like, I could take care. I could. I'm gonna take care of this. The next day it was gone, and she says, "I told," because when she did it, she goes, "I don't think it'll be there in the morning," and it wasn't there in the morning when I got up. Oh, yeah, Uber looks like an Arizona blonde because I think the Johnny Cash is uh, in California also. If that's where you're at, could be wrong. Could be another state like Texas or something, but an Arizona blonde, yeah, they're pretty cool. You should go out and catch some of the little baby ones, huh? And you guys got all kinds of scorpions out there. Oh, lower desert. You guys have dune scorpions, all kinds, and they're. I used to watch Ken the Bug Guy go out and catch them, stock his whole store. Pretty cool stuff. Yes, you do. You got them there, and then there's the Texas camel spider too. They have that too. Yeah, it would. I mean, you could do a complete. You could fill up a complete room with all different stuff and do videos on it. I have a box elder bug tree, or they call it a box elder tree in the back. And my sister has one in her yard too. And they get loaded with box elder bugs. The deal is with the box elder tree is the same thing as a maple tree, except it's a little different. But you could take the syrup from a box elder tree and turn it into syrup, same as maple syrup. Are they? See, I didn't know that. I learned something new today, Frank. But I suppose you're correct because they bite like this. True spiders bite like this. Tarantulas like that. Tarantulas are not a true spider either. So, but that's the way I always, tarantula, true spider, and I guess a camel spider. I wouldn't even want to get bit by a camel spider because I've seen some pretty nasty bites come from them guys. Interesting. There are many different kinds of camel spiders. Well, different species. Florida even has wandering spiders, so they're pretty interesting. They say the wandering spider from Florida, they're not sure of its potency if it were to bite you or not. Most wandering spiders have a pretty potent bite, and they've never really tested the one from Florida, so who knows? California may even have a wandering spider of some sort. I'm not sure. And I'm sure, just thinking, there's probably a million species just in this country alone that they have not discovered yet, or that people have seen and just never thought nothing of it. Like, but scientists have never, checked into them before. Yeah. Did you know that the most venomous creature in existence on land? I mean, I'm not sure about sea creatures, but or like that. But I know the most venomous creature on the face of the earth is a harvester ant, and I believe it's found in California or Arizona. But it is so, it gives you such a low dose that it's not really deadly to you unless you get stung a bunch of times. Yeah, I know that, Tendo, but I was talking about, I'm talking about land. You sent that before I could even tell you that I meant land. No, they're not. They don't produce their own toxins. They get it from eating ants that are toxic. Edward, long legs there. That's a myth. That's not true. Matter of fact, did you know that the daddy long legs really isn't even a spider? It is a form of a mite, still in the arachnid family, I believe, but it's a form of a mite. It's not even the most toxic there is of anything. People have been bitten by them. Nothing. Yeah, the dart frog does not produce its own toxins. It gets it from ants. But 100% it's the harvester ant. Oh, the ants in Florida. I couldn't remember if it was in Florida or Arizona. Tastes a little bit like peppermint, huh? Interesting, Edward. Interesting. Yeah, it's a harvester ant, and it's pretty interesting. Only if you're allergic to it. What, the ant? Absolutely not. If you stick your hand in and get bit 100 times, you're dying. Well, I'm not gonna say 100 times, maybe a little bit more, but you will die. That's how potent that toxic is. It has nothing to do with an allergy at all. You could be allergic to an ant and die, or just a bee sting and die. So anybody can have an allergy, but no, it's not an allergy that'll kill you. Nope. I just watched a documentary on it yesterday or the day before, and it's a new documentary. But yeah, no, it has the most toxic venom there is, and if you have an allergic reaction to it, you'll die, of course. But if you fall on an anthill and get bit a whole shit ton of times, you're gonna die anyway, because that's how potent its venom is. It gives you such a small amount; it takes so much for it to kill you. I don't know how many bites it would take. Let's look this up. Again, I'm gonna go my Google search. The world's most venomous. Yep, is the harvester ant. Hold on. It's also no. This the harvester ant I'm talking about is found in the southwestern part of the United States and Mexico, and these ants are not. They're not really aggressive, but they will sting. The venom is very potent, but it injects such a small sting. Hundreds of them. If you got bit a couple hundred times, you would die. It's got an LD50, a lethal dose of 50% of the population of mice. Yep. So it's on the LD50. They're not aggressive at all unless provoked. And the venom is mainly used in defense. Their heart, their well, of course, their main diet is vegetable stuff. They are found in places. They're found in Arizona, California, Colorado, New Mexico, Nevada, Texas, as well as Mexico. They nest in sandy areas. The sting is extremely painful, even though it's one sting. An allergic reaction, one sting can be fatal. It's recommended not to handle them due to their potent sting. They're orange in color. They say bullet ants feel like getting shot by a bullet, but I've seen, down there, and um, again, if you're allergic to it, you would have a problem. It's not as toxic as you would think it is. It's just the type of toxin it is makes your nerves fire off. So, as it stings you, it creates your nerves to fire off, sends signals for your nerves to fire, which creates pain. Now, down there where they're at, they'll put 100 of them in a glove. They make these gloves, and to become a man, you have to stick your hand in them and let them sting you repeatedly. So, and then people usually don't die. They'll get sick. They'll go through all kinds of the pain and the stuff like that. Yeah. Very possible. I've never been stung by it. I got stung by a bumblebee in here, and let me tell you, the bumblebee sting is one of the most painful bee stings. Not wasp. I'm not talking about a wasp. I'm talking about a bee. There is. It flew into my ear, and I thought it was a fly when I was a kid, and I put my hand over my ear, and it stung me deep down inside my ear. Talk about painful. 40, just 40 bumblebee stings could send you to a hospital because their venom is potent, very potent compared to like a honeybee or stuff like even wasp. But the only thing with a wasp is it bites and then it stings, and it can repeatedly sting you. I have a little story. When I was a kid, the kid down the street from me, there was a hole in the ground, and we were playing in the yard, and a wasp flew out. And I looked, I said, "Oh, did you see that wasp come out of the hole?" And we walked over and we're watching. Wasps are coming out, and they're going in and they're coming out. And I said, "I bet you I can run over that, stand on it, and then run and not get stung." And he's like, "Oh, I bet you can't." I ran over, stepped on it, and I stood there for a couple seconds, and I ran. Boom, no stings. He goes, "Watch me, I can do it too." And he ran over and he stepped on it, but he wasn't on it. He was right next to it and didn't realize it. And all these bees flew up wasps or yellow jackets or whatever they were. They flew up his pants, up his shirt, and he's screaming. He's getting stung, and they bite you, and then they sting you. And he's screaming. He's rolling around. His mom come out and started ripping his clothes off, squirting him down with those. He had bites all over the place. I felt so bad. I was like, wow. I he would have never did it if I didn't do it. That's what made me feel bad. What kind of bee was it, Moon? I used to work at a bee farm, so I got stung by bumblebees. Not bumblebees, but honeybees all the time. They don't bother me any. A matter of fact, they use honeybee stings to help deal with arthritis and stuff like that. Honeybees are pretty cool. Uh, when I worked there, though, I'm going to tell you a story. When I worked at the honey factory, at the honey, the, the bee farm, a guy stuck his hand in and got stung in the hand right here in his finger, and his whole hand swelled up like a baseball, huge. I couldn't believe it. I said, "You're allergic to bees. I don't think I'd be messing with them." The murder hornets? Are you talking about, Frank? I know there's a hornet in Japan or whatever it is that, or it's Asia, that sprays venom, and it's like an acid, and if it hits you on the skin, it can eat a hole in your skin. Yeah, wasps are the front. Where's my son? He was working at this. This is before he does what he does now, but he was working at a gravel pit, and he's out with this dozer, and he's driving a dozer, and his boss said he saw him and he's driving straight, and next thing he knows, the dozer goes like this, and then the dozer goes like this, and the dozer goes like this, and then it stops, and then it goes and it goes, and his boss gets on the walkie-talkie and said, and my son's name is David. He's like, "David, is everything okay?" And he's like, "No, there's a bastard with wings in this cab with me." He was scared. My son is scared to death of wasps, and that's because when he was a kid, we went to a house and he put his hand down, and a whole bunch of uh, wasps flew up his sleeve and bit him on the arm. It was bad. Oh, I've had that happen, but it hit me in the arm. Moon was driving, had my arm out, and it landed and stung me when it hit me. I want to raise bees. I want to get some bee hives going. I find them pretty interesting. Um, they don't scare me. I love it when people are in the yards and honeybees are flying around and they're swatting them. If you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. Let me see here. Somebody said something. That's true, Tyndall. That is true. Take the American way of becoming a man instead of sticking your hand in gloves with bullet ants, huh? Oh, yeah. And you know what's bad is if you don't get that stinger out, it continuously pumps venom in for a while. Do they have to have um I see people have the velvet ants, and we have velvet ants here where I'm at. I've only seen one, but I wouldn't even know how to breed them. I don't know what has to be done to breed them, because that would be interesting. But velvet ants are called a cow killer for a reason. You know, yeah, my luck one would get out and sting me or something. You do know why they call them cow killers, right? And it's not because they can kill a cow. It's because if they sting you, they say the pain is so painful a cow would die. Oh, I did not know that. That would be a pretty much impossible task to breed them unless you had a hive of some sort. I did not know that they did that. Learn something new every day. They said I learned 2 things today. Very good. Yeah, I know they're not very aggressive, but if they decide they're gonna sting you, it's gonna hurt. Although they say it's extremely painful, and I've watched all these pain scale indexes of people getting stung and all. I'm not talking about the Kings of Pain either. I'm talking about all the other like the books that's written, and they're on that scale. They're on that list of one of the most painful stings there are. But so is the tarantula hawk. It's right up there. That doctor wrote that pain index. I can't remember. It was his name Tim something, I believe. Kings of Pain. Yeah, anybody watch that show? I find it very interesting. But again, when you get stung by something, or you let something bite you, and these guys there's the two of them, okay, and they do their little scale. Now, this is the only problem I had with the show. In order to get uh, an accurate look at the potency of the venom and the potency of the sting and the amount of problems it causes you, one, you have to try more than just two animals. So you have to get stung multiple times over the course of multiple, not one right after another, but you have to comprise that all together. And you have to have more than two individuals. You have to have about 4 or 5 individuals and compare it. Two people, okay, they might have a slight tolerance to it, or one could have a bad tolerance, no tolerance, and get really sick, and other ones can have a higher one, you know. And each animal's different. So I could have two tarantulas here, let's just say two tarantulas. We're just going to say the OBTs. One could bite me and put very little venom in me, and the other one could bite me and inject copious amounts of venom in me. Compared to, when I say copious, I don't mean like super amounts, but I'm talking about compared to the other one. So you have to get bit by about 4 to 6 individual tarantulas of the same species, put that all together to come up with an accurate gauge of how potent they are. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And the only reason I say that is because you can get a dry bite from a tarantula. You can get a dry bite from a rattlesnake. Yeah. So you have to compile, you have to get bit multiple times. Black widow bite causes all your muscles to cramp. Like he got stomach pains and cramps. But again, you can get a mild envenomation, no envenomation, or a major envenomation. And the black widow from Florida, which is called the red widow, I believe, has one of the worst of them all. You can get bit by that. And again, same thing. There's many different levels of the bite. But you can get bit and a year from now get sick again because it can constantly come back for years to come. You can get that. Yeah, I've seen them. They're pretty potent. Although I think the eastern giant widow here in the United States is very comparable to it because they're very large and they had the stripe on the back and not the belly either. So I could, The main problem with spider bites is bacteria. A spider, most spiders, even the main problem with brown recluse spiders is the bacteria that's on their fangs. So when they bite you, you get a bacteria in there, and that's what usually causes you get an infection in it from just the bite alone, and then that causes that bacteria to multiply, which becomes a flesh-eating problem. Michael Myers, how are you doing tonight, sir? I am doing pretty good. I believe everybody else in here is doing very good too. And Slash, you're back. How are you, sir? Very good to hear. What have anti-venom? Oh, for the Australia species. Okay, yeah. I believe they do. They used to produce black widow venom here, anti-venom here, but they don't do it no more. Just like they don't produce coral snake venom here anymore. So if you get bit by a coral snake, you better hope it's not a major envenomation, because you would probably be in trouble. That's like the Sidewinder. A lot of people don't know this. The Sidewinder has one of the most potent venom in snake in the United States. We're not talking about the coral snake though, but it has one of the most potent venoms there is. The problem is it doesn't inject a lot. That's pretty cool. They I don't know if they still do it this way, but they used to hook them up to a little electrode, shock them. The venom comes in. They get a little pipette and take the drops off the fangs. That's how they do the funnel web spider. I'm sure they do the other one the same way. You don't want to get bit by a funnel web spider either, especially the Sydney funnel web. There's many different types of funnel webs, which are all pretty bad to get bit by. Sydney funnel web is pretty bad. Interesting fact about the Sydney funnel web. Sydney funnel web venom is specifically deadly towards primates like monkeys, humans, things like that, where it's not so bad for a dog. Dogs get bit, they usually do fine. But there is a funnel web over there, spider, that is fine if you get bit by it. You make pain, get sick, but if it bites your dog's going to die. Pretty interesting stuff. Now, I wonder if you were able to hybridize those two and you would get one that can kill you both, you know? What do you mean, Frank? Do you have any crazy wild spiders or anything like that over where you're at, Michael Myers? I know you guys got asps, which are a snake over there. Not asps, but oh, what the heck snake is it? I have to think now for a minute. Yeah, no problem. I like your content. It's pretty good stuff. Hold on. It might be an asp. Oh, tourniquet. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Does no good. And that only work and compression bandages only work on elapid bites. They don't even work on like if you got bit by like a viper or something. Is it an asp? I'm trying to think here. Adder. Oh, you guys do have an asp. But I don't know if that's where you're at. Oh, it's in France, so it should be right there by you, right? And you guys also have an. I did not know this either. A nosed horned viper, European cat-eyed snake, coastal viper, an Orson's viper. I've never heard of that. But I was talking about the European adder. Do you ever see it? Have you ever seen any of them in the wild or anything, Michael Myers, or an asp or anything like that? Oh wow, that's interesting. Hmm. It's very endangered. Hmm. Let me see here. What do we got here? Oh, see, Edward Tyndall was bit by stung by a cow killer and a tarantula wasp. He was 8 years old. He said it was absolutely horrible. Yeah, the European adder. I know they even have them in England, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe last year a person died from an adder bite in England. It's very rare to die from a bite, but apparently it was a younger or sickly person that got bitten and died. And this was very interesting to me too, Michael Myers. I don't know if you ever seen this, but a woman bought a Christmas tree, and she lived in, I think it was England, could have been just mainland Europe. And when she put the tree in the house, she decorated it, and they found her dead. And they couldn't figure out what was going on. And the family was like, well, she was decorating a tree, and she stuck her hand in and got stuck by some pine needles or some twigs or something. And when they searched the tree, there was an adder in a tree, and it bit her several times, and it killed her. You know, when I lived in Philly, Frank, I used to find snakes all the time, crawling on the sidewalk, or like garter snakes and stuff, local stuff, nothing wild. Nothing that was like somebody else's stuff. You think you might have seen an out of European adder? Interesting. I think it would be great to go out and just take pictures of that stuff. Yeah, I suppose they are hard to spot in the wild, and your climate, you're kind of a colder climate, but and a wetter climate, but the adders that live in the colder northern part of Europe and stuff like that are dark. They usually are darker, and they can really gain in a lot of the sun and stuff like that. Yes, and you also have the ringneck snake, and the ringneck snake. A lot of people don't realize this. Ringneck snakes are venomous. Um, Garter snakes are venomous, but you're the venom's designed for what they eat, and very rarely do you have a problem unless you have a reaction to it. My aunt picked up a garter snake and it bit her right between the fingers here, and her whole hand from her elbow, from her, I think it was from her shoulder or from her elbow down, swelled up pretty bad. But again, she had a reaction to it. That's all. Probably not. I think the person that got bit, a guy, they were talking about. I was watching a show and they were talking about. It was a talk show, and they were talking about it because the lady had brought in. It was in England or something. I believe it was England. She brought one in an aquarium and had it on a show and was telling people, if you see these snakes in your paths, just keep your distance because they are venomous. A lot of people over there didn't realize they had a venomous snake. And a lot of dogs are bitten in England, I guess. But the person who died, she said it can happen. People can get bit and they can die. You have to be vigilant and keep that in mind, and you can have a real bad reaction and die from it. And I don't know it. I probably don't have much anti-venom over there because they are kind of a rare thing to see. Edward Tyndall says the sting of a dragonfly larvae, is it the bite or the sting? Um, is the worst by a long shot that he's ever experienced, which I could see. Yeah. Did you see that, Edward? Sure, it wasn't a giant water bug because I know the toe biter. Oh, you put that up as I was saying it. The toe biter. Um, when they inject their stuff, it dissolves skin, and I mean it like breaks down stuff. They're absolutely horrible to get bit by. I found one walking down the road. Yeah, I get it. I often wonder myself. But here, when you get permits here, you have to have a most places when you get a permit. If you live in a place where they say you have to have a permit, you have to get a special book, protocol book that you would take to the hospital with you, and you have to have your own anti venom. No, he said it was pretty sure it was a dragonfly larvae that bit him. Yeah, yeah, if it was bad, I probably wouldn't forget it either, Edward. Absolutely not. I survived it though, Edward. That's how you become a man. I survived it. Me too. Well, obviously you survived it. You're here. He's talking about when I got bit in the neck. Opened up a bag of decently sized snakes, pythons, and they were. It was when it jumped out. It bit me in the hand and the arm. I was grabbing it, and it latched onto the side of my neck. And I was like, "Oh shit, crazy!" But I survived it. It's all good though. Oh, I will admit, Edward, it was kind of scary because the people that were with me jumped up out of the way, wouldn't get near me or nothing. It was bad. I was on my own, and I had people there, and I was on my own. Toe biters are bad, though. I definitely agree with you there, Frank. When they bite, when they sting you with the proboscis, or however you say that word, and they inject that enzyme that breaks down your skin, absolutely horrible. Not including the pinch to hold on. Let me see here what this. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was an iron neck there, Edward Tyndall, because when it bit me, I did bleed a lot. There was blood everywhere. So I seen a guy who got bit by a horsefly in Oklahoma, and the fly, it was so big that when it bit him, he had to go get a stitch to close it up. It depends on where you're at for the horseflies and what size they are. Here horseflies are tiny, but in Oklahoma, them bastards are like huge. And he had to go get it. Bit him right on the arm when he was sleeping, and he jumped up, and he had to go get one stitch put in it to stop it from bleeding. Some crazy stuff goes on down. We got some crazy animals down there. Yeah, I would not want to get bit by. No, I would not want to have botfly larvae on me. I mean, we have botflies here in the United States, but most of them only affect animals. But you go down south into South America, you get a botfly, it's pretty bad. And screwworms. They have screwworms that mess up cattle and stuff. They got them under control here. They don't have them here anymore. But you get down in South America, they got screwworms that'll just tear it up. You ever watched the botfly removals? You ever watch them remove a botfly? I mean, we got botflies here that affect animals like squirrels and cats and birds and stuff like that. They don't affect humans, but then you get down south and down in South America, and they go on people. Yep, and then you got to pull them slow because you don't want them to break off. They cover them over with that with like KY jelly or whatever, and then when it comes out to breathe, they grab it and then they pull it very slowly, and it's very painful to pull out. Ah, everything here is small and not dangerous. Oh, jeez. Yeah, they got the there was a guy who got a botfly in the neck, was it? Or on his back. I can't remember if it was on his neck or his back. He figured he was there. He was going to let it. He was going to let it grow out, but then it started bothering him, and he had to go to a doctor and get him removed. And it took a lot because they got them hook hairs that are backwards. So when they put it on, they have to let it. They put that the KY jelly on it, so it can't breathe. Then it pulls out, comes out some, so it can breathe. Then they grab it and they hold on to it, and then they slowly pull it out. And you can't pull quick because you don't want it to break off and get stuck in there. Then you can get pretty sick. Oh, I'm sure you guys have your dangerous stuff over there, though. Oh yeah, I I watch that stuff all the time. I seen that lady had one on her lip, right where your lip meets your face. You know that line, and that was pretty nasty watching that. They got doctor pull that out because every time he put it on, he would get it and pull it out a little bit. And it would slip off and go right back in, but real quick, boom. Had to do it over and over and over again. That might be the one I'm talking about, Edward. They go by the name of cops. Don't trust them in the wild over here. Oh man. Yeah, we got some pretty crazy stuff over here. A lot of our crazy stuff is in South America, though. You got that the catfish that can swim up your urethra if you pee in the water. It's a tiny little catfish. Then they have to go cut that out. They have electric catfish, electric eels, all kinds of crazy stuff. Wild boars, yeah, we got them here too. But yeah, and I know you guys have them over there. Ooh. No, 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 no. That's pretty painful. Holy crap. Mm-mm. That makes me cringe. Oh, yeah. No, no, not my. Oh. Ooh. Not fun. Uh, Depends on what kind. Coconut crabs will take your arm off, take a finger off, I mean. And other appendages. Yeah, those bot fly removals can be pretty crazy stuff. Got to keep that list. You do that. Oh, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Michael Myers, are you going to do any regular videos of any kind? I saw you did some lives. Well, you got a bunch of lives on your channel. I didn't even know you did them until I was exploring your whole channel. But yeah, you guys, you got some pretty interesting fish. I like the shorts when it comes to some things, but then I also sometimes want to. I'd like to see. Well, I know, and I'm going to start doing more of them. A little bit longer videos. I'm not saying your videos shouldn't. I'm not saying anything bad about what you do. Um, but like, I like to learn things on them. Oh, well, that's what they edit for. If you choke up, you just cut that little sliver out of it. Edward, you should have been in here yesterday. I was telling him about the feather-leg baboon that got up your arm sleeve and was sitting in here. And every time Sarah went in to get it with the catch cup thing, it would slap at the catch cup, and you could hear it. No, I think you would do good. You do good on your lives. You do good. Oh, it was on her belly. Didn't it go up your sleeve though? Didn't you get one that went up your sleeve too? I remember that. Oh, when they do that surgery up in your nose, and then they pull that big thing out of your nose. Makes me cringe. That's when they have to go in and straighten your sinus cavity out. My brother had to have he had what they called a twisted cavity up there, a twisted sinus or something. And what they do is they go up and drill it out, fix it so it's solid, and then they pack it. And then in a few days they pull that out. Oh. Yeah, the lady from Gatorland had one on her belly, a bot fly, and she left it grow for a while, and then they had to remove it. What the hell's her name? Oh, her name means Sarah, but it's I'll have to think of it. I talk to her on Facebook all the time, and I can't remember her name. Crazy. Yeah, give it a try one day. I'm not saying you have to. I like your videos anyway. That's not what I'm saying. You got a great channel, and I like it. Um, I was just wondering if you ever plan to do longer videos or anything like that. Maybe do a longer video of your tarantula, just feed it. Just say, okay, we're going to feed this tarantula. And you tell them what you're going to feed it. You drop it in and let it do its thing. You know, tell a couple facts about it, maybe. Something simple. Mr. J is still in the house. Yeah, yeah, guess it could be satisfying. I'll tell you a story here in a minute about chimps. You'll do fine. I personally think you'll do fine. You can get on live and do it. I'm sure you'll be just fine. Been there watching the whole time. Very interesting. You're one of those people that sit in the background and pounce out when you want to. Yeah, I'm just messing, Mr. J. I'm just messing. In Africa, they've documented now chimpanzees approaching a large tree with a hole in it, and it's almost like they pray to the tree, and then they'll give it gifts. They'll put stuff inside the hole of the tree and around the tree, and they kind of sit there and worship the tree a little bit. It's like they're starting to have an organized religion. They said it's pretty interesting. It is amazing how they can. Absolutely amazing how they can. I'll tell you, my dog to me is like almost like a child to me because by my side constantly, everywhere I go, no matter where I'm going, my dog's with me. I mean, if I would let it in the bathroom when I'm in the bathroom, it would come in the bathroom and sit there with me, and there's no way. Door shut. That's my limit. But the dog follows me everywhere. It's crazy. No matter where I'm sitting, right beside me. Exactly. That's the first thing that popped in my head, Michael Myers. Are you serious, Frank? That's cool. Not cool, but it's interesting. when you're on a porcelain. Yeah, no, I, 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 I wouldn't be able to do it because if I'm sitting on a porcelain throne and my dog's looking at me, I'd be like, "What? Leave me alone." But I do talk to my dog when sitting next to me all the time. That's your cue to start a chat. Yeah, that would be interesting to see. That's like when chimpanzees have wars with other chimpanzees, other groups. They bite the testicles off the males so they can't reproduce, and they kill all the young chimpanzees, and then start producing their own chimpanzees. It's a whole thing. I will, Edward, if I could find the video again, or if I see where it was, or the video that it was in, or the interview that they were talking about, I will send it to you right away. It's pretty interesting. They say it's like they're creating their own religion and everything like that. It's pretty wild stuff. I think that's a could be the Bobos, right, Prank? Is that what they are? The Bobos? I think I've seen something similar to it with Bobos. The talking thing. That's funny. But it would be interesting to see how they do that, how that works out. Yeah, I know Bobos will do things like that, but if it was chimpanzees or something, even if it was Bobos, it's been a while since I've seen it. Would be very interesting to see again, and it might be something totally different. So if you find it, let me know. I think they're called Bobos, right? Bonobos. I guess that's how you spell it. Bonobos. And they use it for social bonding and conflict resolution, not for just reproductive reasons. Tell me that isn't crazy. They use it to build alliances. Wow. I'll share this with you, Frank. And then when you come back, post the link in the because I can't do it from where I'm at. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. There are no strict. Sorry about that, guys. There's a whole bunch of these on this thing. Oh, it's extremely impressive for primates. Exactly. Let me see if I can find one for you, Edward. Yeah, Edward, here it is. Chimpanzees. Let's see if I can share this with you. Trying to get, let me see if I can share this with you, Edward. I'm trying to share it, buddy. I might have to do it a different way. Wait a minute, here we go. No, that's not the one I want. No. Go back. Here we go, Edward. I'm going to find this for you, buddy. That weird ritual. Here we go. Oh, no, that's not the way I can do it there either. Oh, yeah, it is. Yes, it is. There you go, Edward. I knew I'd find it. Yeah, weird. I understand that. But I did share the thing with you, Frank, about the Bobo, whatever it is. But you could share that video on here, and I'm sure that Michael Myers would find that interesting also. There we go. Yep. There's a lot of interesting stuff on there. Wow, I'm over 2 hours already. I think I'm going to hop off. It's getting late here. And Frank, Michael Myers, the Tyndalls, Sarah Tyndall, Tanisha, Mr. J, Uper, Slash, and everybody else that's in the background that ain't coming out to say anything. I want to thank every single one of you guys for coming in here and giving me the time. Moon, thank you, Moon. It's great to see you guys on here. I do appreciate it. And roaches, you seen? No, I don't have a culture yet. That's what I'm working on. I got to work on it, Frank. I got to find the right person. And the people you introduced me to, they're probably who I'm going to go through for all that kind of stuff because it's pretty cool. And yes, I will see you guys all later. Could everybody please say goodnight to Sarah Tyndall, by the way? Because she's watching at home. She just can't. they can't. They're watching it on the TV. So bye, everyone. Good night and peace out. And I will talk to every single one of you people on another day. I am sure. At least I hope to. Peace.